Just catching up. We're almost there. We're almost there. Come on, YouTube. Here we go. Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We are live on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. We've got a studio audience that is massive and sweaty. We have by far the biggest audience I've ever had for YouTube Live. So we're right here on the Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise, and very excited to talk with you guys, answer your Royal Caribbean questions. Start with the most important question. How many days till your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Have to count down in chat. Let's count down together. And we had some amazing super chats before the broadcast began. Really nice stuff here. Brad, thanks for the super chat. 116 days till Allure, 150 days till Liberty, 272 till Oasis, and 461 till the Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise on Oasis. Nice. 461 days till that cruise. Wow. Crazy. Christelle, thanks for the super chat. 28 Monday. Chris is here? 28 Monday chats till back-to-back on Indy. These chats make the long wait easier. Thanks, Matt, for all you do to make our cruises better. Now enjoy yours. Thank you. We're absolutely enjoying it. It is fantastic. Molly Potter Parch, thank you for the super chat. 20 days till Wonder going on. Go to St. John while Doug St. Thomas. What is the best place to catch the ferry boat? Is it best to purchase tickets in advance? Thanks for all you do. Best channel ever. For St. Thomas, because of the weird hours they have there, like it used to be, you want to go to Red Hook and get the ferry over there. The problem with that is it's really difficult to get a taxi. So my best advice to you is to actually just do a Royal Caribbean excursion over there. It's not ideal, but it's the easiest approach to doing it. And it takes a lot of the issues that otherwise would present itself. So I actually recommend you do the Royal Caribbean excursion. Bob Dickens, thanks for the super chat. Going on Radiance February 1st, been on about 6 cruises. Now all Oasis Wonder will we be in for a letdown on a smaller ship? I don't think so. It's all about expectations. If you go in completely blind, don't know anything about it, then yeah, you could be, disappointed in that. But I feel like as long as you understand the differences and what there is and what there isn't on board, I think you'll be totally okay, Bob. I really am not worried about it. It's just about people who go in and then are like, well, this ship doesn't have all the stuff the Oasis class ship has. Yeah, okay. But if you know that, then you're good. Jill, 1228, I heard they're going to do a middle dinner seating. Yeah, it's already available on many ships in the fleet, but that is something they rolled out a little earlier this year, Jill, so you heard correctly. All right, good news. I'm up to the questions now in the chat. Kyle, thanks for the super chat. 158 days till Independence, just booked it. How do room upgrades to casino offers work? You still get double crown anchor points if you upgrade to a suite. If you're in a non-suite, forget casino for a second. If you're in a balcony or lower and royal up to a suite, you get the points you would get for the room that you originally booked. So that's something to keep in mind about that. A little bit of a caveat to that. But as far as I know, and where's Craig? He's my casino owner. You can do a royal up if you do a casino offer, right? Yeah. Yes, correct. Yeah. But yes, you can still do a royal up. It's the exact same process, whether you book through the casino or not. But there you go. And thanks to the audience for helping me out on that one. Let's see here. Next question. Natalia, I'm going on a group cruise with my family and in-laws. Will grandparents be able to pick up kids from Adventure Ocean if I tell the employees, okay, yeah. So when you do the registration, it's going to ask you who can pick up your kids, and you can add anybody there. You can add family members, friends, anybody who's an adult can definitely do that. So you're good to go. Let's see here. Former Genius, thank you for re-upping with the blog club. Thank you. I'm getting so choked up. It's just amazing. Thank you for your support. 179 days still Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise on Voyager. Taking my best friend on her first ever cruise. Have you ever done the holiday dinner at Giovanni's? No, that's actually holiday dinner at Giovanni's is a very fancy way for saying we're charging more for the same experience. It is just basically because it's a holiday, they charge more for it. So, and by the way, because of that, if you have a dining package, it will work on those days. So generally, actually, I don't. I'll end up like at a Zumi or somewhere that doesn't have an upcharge because I think it's just silly. But unless you really, really want to, sure, go for it. But that's what all that means. There's nothing different about it. You're just paying extra for the privilege of eating on a holiday day. Jessica Devoto also, thank you for re-upping for 10 months in the club. Thank you. When will Royal Caribbean and other cruise lines have their 2026 itineraries for Europe available? I don't know about other lines, but Royal Caribbean starts to put out their new itineraries in November. Usually it's around November, December, and then the rest come out in the spring, and usually in the fall. Don't quote me on this. Usually in the fall, it's Alaska, Europe, and 7-night Caribbean. That can change, but historically speaking, that's pretty much been like the best thing ever. So yeah. Michael, thanks for the super chat, buddy. On Icon with Matt is the best ship we've ever been on. Why do the pools close so early? All family pools close by 8. This has really been the case like across the board in a lot of cases. Like forget Icon, like the pools do close pretty early. They do keep a couple pools open on Icon, which is nice, and kids are allowed in those pools. But why do they close the other ones? I mean, it's a great question. I wish I had a better answer for you, Michael. But I think by and large, most people, there are still people who want to go in the pool, but like the vast majority are not interested in swimming. A lot of them are going to their shows, they're going to dinner, they're going to bed early, like Tony Diaz. You know, they just want to. They got a cadence to it. I think that they just kind of see the numbers. Say it's just not worthwhile to keep the pools open there. Is that Tony Diaz? Yeah, Tony's. I mean, we got Tony on a stick. I'm not sure if you saw him in the background. There he is. So Tony is definitely there. Tony otherwise did not come on the cruise because he couldn't be bothered to hang out with his friends, which is really just very insulting to every single person here. Chris Moss. Chris, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Good evening, Icon Group Crew. 17 days till enchantment, 171 till freedom. I'm just here to support the channel. Enjoy. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. Thank you. Kevin wants to know, where on the ship are we? We are right outside the Aquadome Marketplace. So we're on, technically this is Chill Island. And the Lime and Coconut is to my right, to your left. And you can't really see it, but Swim and Tonic is right over there. Valerie, thank you for the super chat. What do you recommend for doing with kids in San Juan? I guess it depends if you're kids. If you have like the best kids ever, Mason and Marcus, then they're going to be up for a lot of cool historical stuff out there, like the forts are really cool. I think a lot of kids enjoy seeing that. Like they maybe don't want to read all the plaques, but it is kind of cool to explore it and see those kinds of things. If you have more bougie kids like Lorelai, then maybe you need to go to the beach and go and do something else to pass the time over there. And there's a lot of good, resort for a day. I went to the Marriott Stellaris once. That was very nice, actually. But you can easily walk around in Old San Juan. Just be aware with kids. It's really important to understand that with children, it can get very warm in the summer months. It's very muggy. It's very stagnant. So it's not that they are bougie like Lorelai, but if they get hot and sweaty, I don't care who your kids are, they're going to complain. Craig Hart from about 3 feet behind me. Thank you for the super chat. No, we will not play Sweet Caroline ever. Max Rebo, any update on the availability for Royal Railway on Utopia? I don't have any updates on this. I am as much in the dark as you all are. The good news is I'll be on Icon, I think, in like a week or so to check some things out. So hopefully I'll have an update for you. But in the meantime, I don't have any other updates on there. So, Sugar, who is the best dressed today of the group? I mean, let me put it this way: Sugar is the best dressed today, but because of YouTube terms of service, I'm not allowed to show you what he's wearing. You have to go with me on this one. Take my word for it. Robert, who is also somewhere in the chat, there you are, in joining us here. Thank you for the super chat. Sunglasses professionally fall onto video game controller. Oh, is that a sticker? I thought it was a very profound statement you were making. Like Confucius says, sunglasses perpetually fall onto video gamers' face. But no, it's just a thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. And also here, the legend, Lando Calrissian, is here as well. I can tell you, if you imagine how cool a guy is with that name, it matches up. Thank you for the super chat. Sitting on the Great Wall of China, eating a large bowl of broccoli. If you know, you know. Shameless plug. Rover Blog Group Cruise absolutely rock. Thank you. Yes, the good old reviews of online reviews there. That's a throwback to some previous rants I've had on here. Craig, thank you again for another super chat, alluding to a song we'll never play on here, but thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Chris, thank you for the super chat. Aruba Ryu Palace. Have you ever tried this before? Yes. Lorelai just left. I would have had her give you a full review because she was there. you remember the place? Remember the place in Aruba we went to? That resort that your uncle ate all the food at the buffet?
Yes.
Thumbs up? All right, yeah. It was a great place. Very good. Yes. We've been there. It was fantastic. Had a great time. Bring a change of clothes because the restaurants don't allow you to go in a wet bathing suit, but you can get food by the pool, obviously. It's a beautiful place right on the water. So really, really nice there. Let's see here. Terry Arter. What's up, Terry? 130 days till Indie. Just curious if you wanted to explain on your favorite song that's on the car stereo at 127 on 9 Things to Do as soon as you board your cruise ship. I have no idea what you're talking about. I can only tell you that I record the narrations and then Jenna does something. So I don't know. I'd have to look that out. Wesley was up. I met Lando. Yes, he is sitting here. I met him on the first day. And he did exactly what I told him. I said, do not introduce yourself as like, I don't want to say your real name, Bob. Tell me, you got to introduce yourself as Lando Calrissian. Otherwise, I'm not going to know. And he did exactly that. So yes. Let's see here. Becky Menken from MEI Travels. Becky here or in the air conditioning? Is she here or is she in the air conditioning? Is she here? Not yet. Okay. Becky's having caviar served to her by her cabin attendant. It'll be here in a little bit. Yeah. Terry Arter, thanks, Terry, for the super chat. Was that your message, Terry, that I just read before? Yeah, so we're good. Thank you, Terry, for your super chat. Richard, thanks for the super chat as well. 6 days till Norway cruise at Celebrity Apex for 12 nights, 102 days till Symphony out of Bayo. Nice, dude. 2 really nice cruises. I'm very jealous about Norway, not just because it's extremely humid here, and I'd rather be in Norway right now. Let's see here. Next question. Kevin Cook. Kevin, thanks for the super chat. A thumbs up. A thumbs up to you. Becky is here. Becky, come on over. We'll read one more question. Becky's taking photos. She's eating more caviar. It's just, Cappy Verse, thanks for the super chat. When will we see you on the Flow Rider? Never. Come on over. It's if you don't move and you wait and you have Craig's fan, it's really not that terrible. But I will say that it's
I'm not going anywhere now.
Yeah. We're having a great time here. First of all, thank you, Becky, for everything on the screen. This has been amazing so far. Really nice. Yeah. Really, really good. So I appreciate everything. It's been wonderful.
Well, our pleasure. And I love the group cruises because we get to see everybody in person. And we get to get in-person hugs. And then I get to know their real names as opposed to looking at whatever word it is on YouTube that they go by.
Absolutely.
Which that's kind of fun.
Yep, absolutely. No, it's great. So I thank you for being here despite the humidity. I know this is neither of ours.
This was hard for me.
Yes.
This is not like all of this.
I
I even went in there and thought, well, listen if it's so bad. And I went, yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Again,
so
if you don't move, you think calming thoughts, it might not be that bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
So regardless, it's bad. But it's worth it. And I think this is the biggest crowd you've ever had for a group cruise live.
Oh, this is by far the biggest one.
Did you do like a...
No, I'm always paranoid that the camera is going to die on me. Like this is a new camera, so we'll try it out.
You should.
All right.
You should, just
Here we go.
show it around.
He's far enough away. I got everyone there. There we go. We almost did it. It's almost back.
See, and,
All right, there you go.
and they can be here for all this fun too on the next group cruises that you have set up.
Absolutely. Richard, any rumors on when we can book specialty restaurants with the dining package online? No, unfortunately not. I've asked Royal Caribbean every time I usually see them, and I say, hey, any updates on that? But there's not been an update yet. It's basically when it's ready, it's ready. Clearly, it wasn't going to be ready in January when they originally intended it to be, but hopefully soon. Valerie, 4 days till Icon. Is there a really big hurricane? There is, but it's not gonna affect you. It'll be long gone by the time you get there. I mean, our cruise ship got rerouted because of the hurricane, and you got to remember that. They made the change pretty early, actually the day before the cruise, and they know what they're doing. They're going to get us around the storm, and whether or not there is a hurricane or not, you should know that they're always looking at the weather to make sure that is not going to be a factor for you. So yeah, you're good. Jim Gatton over on my left. Sorry, Tony. Thanks for the super chat. When will you do Crown's Edge? Confucius says, not this cruise. That's okay. Thank you. Rachel, I'm going on Wonder Disease next spring break. Are there any activities that cost money? Yes, there are some that do cost money. As an example, you can do the escape room. If they have it on Wonder, yeah, they do. The flow rider lessons. A lot of them that you can do when you go to the cruise planner, you will see something in the onboard activities where you can purchase different activities that you can do. Most activities are included. You know, the rock climbing wall. Obviously the pools, and some of the activities around the sports courts. But there are some extras that do cost extra, and it's pretty well mentioned there. Nick, thanks for the super chat, buddy. 9 days till Vision, 20 days till Utopia. Enjoy Icon. Hope to meet you on Utopia 4-nighter. Thanks for posting the cruise compass on your website. Very helpful. You are very welcome. BG Pascal. You, and then we'll read your question. 52 days till Alaska on Ovation. Check-in keeps changing from 7-8 to 7-9. Andy, what gives? Gonna set my alarm for 3 a.m. Eastern Standard early boarding time. Not sure which day. It's at midnight on the day of you're supposed to check in there. I'm wondering. I mean, you got the right idea. If you're on Ovation to Alaska, that's in Seattle. That's Pacific time, 3-hour time difference. So you're doing the right thing. I'm not sure why you're seeing what you're seeing, but it will be midnight there. I'll be perfectly honest with you, sister. Like, truthfully, just wait till the next morning. Like, I don't think you need to do it at midnight unless you're like very, very like. But more power to you if you want to stay up that late. Samantha, thank you for the super chat. How feasible is it to plug game consoles into TVs? It depends on the ship and what kind of input. There's a couple problems. One is actual access to the physical port. Like some TVs are really set against the wall. It's very difficult to get access to that. Number two is the input actually activated. And the remotes that you get with your room don't have an input control. So you have to bring your own universal remote to program it and change it. So I tell people it's not really that practical. Let's see here. Cruise, Australia, New Zealand, South Pacific, and the world. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for being a member. We want to know, our drink package is worth it. So I had all the group with you. Cheers, Tom. Tom, thanks for the super chat, buddy. I think they can be, yeah. I mean, they can absolutely save you a lot of money if you want to drink on your cruise, or drink a fair amount. I would say that for most people, it's a matter of can you drink, in the case of the deluxe beverage package, 6 to 8 drinks a day. That sounds like a lot, but over the course of a cruise, you have, again, 1 or 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the evening. You're already at 6. That doesn't count bottled water, coffees, and other things that are included. It's very hot here. Oh my goodness. So I would say, yes, it absolutely can be worthwhile, but obviously you need to drink enough to make it worth it. Diana, my 16-year-old granddaughter will be doing Crown's Edge with her parents next week. We haven't shown her the video yet. Good luck. Good luck with that one. Let's see here. Candace wants to know, do you know if the Royal Railway will be able to be booked before the inaugural in the cruise planner? I don't know. It's one of these, it's a new experience, and I think that Royal wants to make sure that they've got it ready to go. Remember, with inaugural cruises, this is an important thing. People ask, should I do an inaugural cruise? Not everything may be ready. This has very much been the case. I mean, as example, the escape room on Icon is still not ready, and we're 6 months after her inaugural. So it's not uncommon for this to occur. I feel like I should be quoting Jurassic Park when I say Pirates of the Caribbean didn't work when Disneyland first opened, or whatever that line is, and then they says, well, John, the pirates didn't eat the tourists when the ride broke down. But it's a you have to understand with the inaugural, that is a possibility that things might not be right. I'm not saying that. I really have no information other than you guys have, but I will just simply say that that is something that they're working on, and I suspect they want to make sure they can deliver it. Like, better not to offer it than to offer it and have to cancel later on. I feel like that's a better lesser of two evils. Cappy first. Cappy, thank you for the super chat. Who is your favorite junior cruiser? Oh, Gary, this is you? Okay, I didn't know that. I don't think I can pick favorites of other people's kids. But they're actually really, I mean, honestly, from all the ages involved. They're all very respectful, really good people. They are not the ones hitting all the buttons on the elevators that I'm aware of. Donna wants to know, Deck 11, where are the spaces next to the cabin? That's not a cabin. Is it a linen closet? I don't know what ship you're talking about. I think maybe you're talking about the Oasis class, but in a lot of cases, it's just storage or equipment that goes in there. Definitely not a linen closet, I don't think. Sometimes crew access areas. Kind of depends. Unfortunately, I can't answer your question off the bat. Jeff, thanks for the super chat. How dependable is Starlink on Harmony? Pretty good. I've not been on Harmony since they got Starlink, but generally speaking, most ships are really good. The only ship that I really had any problem with Starlink was Freedom. They had the first alpha implementation of it, and they never it's not quite as reliable. But here on Icon, it has been really rock solid. Gary, thanks for the super chat. When app opens 45 days prior to cruise, can you use the existing photo to upload, or does it be done in the app in real time? I've always done it in the app in real time. I've never seen the option to actually upload a new photo. So as far as I know, you gotta snap one in there. Don't forget, Gary, you can come back and do it later. So if you want to go do it 45 days and get your check-in time, totally fine. You can come back later and then do the rest. Am I going to be on Utopia of the Seas September 22nd? No. Oh, wait. Yes, I am. It's the President's Cruise. It's like, wait a minute. No, I won't. Yes, I will. I did book it. I don't know if I'll be on it, but I booked it because for once I'm not I don't have something else happening for the President's Cruise. So, yeah. Slew Dog, checking in on the app. How can we bypass document entries and go straight to check-in times? In the app, if you can't do this on the website, but in the app, you have the three options. Your travel documents, check-in time, and the other thing. Just click on your check-in time and then come back to it later. Am I enjoying my cruise despite being super hot and humid? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna let it stop me. I might not go outside as much as otherwise, but yeah, absolutely. How do I like Grandeur of the Seas? It's not my favorite ship in the fleet, but the Vision class offers something different, and I appreciate that. Some of the pricing is really good on those kind of ships. In fact, some of the best pricing right now is on the Vision class ships. It goes out of other ports like Tampa. So there's an advantage to going on those ships, and also it's very easy to get around and whatnot. Gary wants to know, is Supper Club a good bang for the buck on Icon? I think it is. I mean, listen, it's $200 per person. That is not cheap, but it includes alcohol. It has entertainment, so it's not just you can't compare it to Chops Grill. Oh, it's another specialty restaurant. Rather, this is a whole different type of experience altogether, and that's really what you're talking about when you're comparing and looking at it. So, do I think it's a good bang for your buck? I think it's certainly worth doing. Considering it includes alcohol, and there are 6 courses on there, 8. Thank you. 8 courses. I mean, if you do the math on 8 drinks, figure let's do a conservative. Let's just do $10 a drink. That's low, but we'll use this for easy math because I'm not doing $13 in my head. $80 off the bat. Now you got food. Now you got entertainment. It's not the worst value in the world, but again, you have to think of it that way, not I want compared to other specialty restaurants. Stealthbin, thank you for the super chat. Should we tip in U.S. dollars or just whatever currency our home country is? I would say certainly U.S. is great. Now, again, I don't know what country you're in. I think the crew members never say no to a tip. I would think that if you're from Turkey, should you be tipping in Turkish lira? Maybe not. Certainly U.S. dollars, euros, it's fine. They'll appreciate anything you can give them. I don't think you need to be too concerned about it. Let's see here. Someone wants to know, is Phoenix the band on my Icon cruise? No, I don't believe so. They were on the inaugural, but I don't believe they're on here currently. Is the Aquadome market open for lunch on embarkation day on Icon? Yes. Is the beach club worth the price of Perfect Day? Sometimes. I mean, if you can get it, if in 2024, if you can get it, gosh, I mean, under 150, I would say, and you've never been there before, sure. Under 100, absolutely. The problem is sometimes the price is a lot more than that, and that's really tough to justify considering how many other places there are to go that are included. The food is really good at the beach club. I like their pool a lot, but I will say, and it's heated, but it's hard to justify like a $200 a person price or something like that where they charge it, and that's just tough to do. So it's kind of, it depends is my answer. So you got to keep an eye on that. Let's see here. JC says, I heard Norwegian is taking suggestions for their adopted moose. On behalf of Matt, we should all suggest Bambi. I like it. There you go. That is a good callback, JC. Andrew, booking our 4th cruise with MEI Travel. Next cruise is on July 19th. Nice. It's a supper club adult only. No, it's not. Anyone's available there, but they don't have like kids menus, so you're gonna take them. They're gonna eat what they got there. Let's see here. Diane says the beach club prices have gone down recently, $100 to under $100 recently. It just really depends on the ceiling. When I was on Freedom, it was under 100, and I was really impressed by it. But I don't know what the price is for this cruise, but I'm guaranteeing you it's not under $100 on this sailing. It kind of depends on the ship, the date, some other factors involved there. So yeah. Let's see here. Cruising Lover says on my July cruise, the beach club is $80 for adults due to sales of 4th of July, of course. Nice. And that's a really good thing. Remember, there is I'm sure the July 4th, there's a sale every day now, but I'm sure the July 4th sale is out, so it's always good to periodically check on that because prices do go down. Where is the printer? You know, believe it or not, I didn't bring the printer with me on here. I know that's crazy talk, but yeah, just shocking, certainly. Let's see here. Nico, would you recommend the city and/or ghost tours in San Juan? I don't think you need. I've never done that one, so to be perfectly honest with you, I've never done it, so I can't give you a recommendation one or the other. I would say in San Juan, you really don't need to do a tour, a formal tour there. I think in a lot of cases, it's such an easy city to walk around that I think you can easily do a lot of stuff on your own. But I haven't done a particular tour. Maybe someone in the chat has, and they can recommend it one way or another. Svetlana, do you believe that Icon 3 will be named Treasure or something? I'd love for Royal to stick to 4-letter names for Icon class. Well, this is unsubstantiated rumors, but word on the street, and I haven't posted this on the blog, so this is how you know where I feel about this. But word on the street is that Icon 3 is going to be called Legend of the Seas. But I've not seen it's not official yet, and I haven't seen it from a source that I feel good enough about it to obviously report on it. But that's the word on the street right now. But I guess, I mean, the 4-letter thing is cool, but I guess they're figuring Icon, Star, Legend, I guess. Or they just thought, hey, it's a good time to reuse the ship name. So don't forget, Legend of the Seas used to be a ship name that was out there before. Let's see here. Eric wants to know, can we wear jeans in the main dining room? Absolutely, yes. Wear your nice jeans. Let's see here. Just going back here with some of the other questions that we missed earlier. What's the best place to get last-minute cruises? Call your travel agent. Actually, big shout-out. I mean, this is a shameless plug that's coming your way, but it's the honest truth. And we did this here for this Icon Group cruise, is travel agents oftentimes have access to last-minute rates. You know, one of our travel agents here in the chat, actually it's Josh here. Josh in the back. Josh and Teresa, she's not here, but Josh is here from MEI Travel. They spotted a terrific last-minute deal on Icon. And the reason why a good travel agent is so helpful is they price out things all the time, right? And so because they're in the system and they're seeing prices, they're more adept, if you will, to being able to find them because they notice them more and they stand out. So when you contact them and say, hey, you know what, I was just pricing out whatever, and you know, that was a pretty good deal. You might be interested in that one. Not to mention there are special agency rates and all sorts of things. So definitely reach out to a travel agent to see about what's available for you. Holly Burns checking in for the much cooler floor 12. Wow. Life is
Much smarter than all of us.
Let's see here. JNOP16, my sister has the panoramic suite on Liberty. Once they do check-in, can they show up right away and go in the suite line? Do they need anything special with the luggage? If they're in I'm gonna guess that's Sky class. Is that Sky or Star? Oh, they're at Liberty. Never mind. It's neither of these. Okay, this is even easier. You can go in the suite line. Absolutely, being a suite, you get access to the suite line, so you're good there. And then they do that, and that's it. For the luggage, it's just your same luggage tag. There's nothing special about that you need to do. Beyond the mic. Hey, Matt, longtime watcher, first time chatter, looking at our first cruise living in Texas. Is Galveston cruise worth it? Or should wife and I head to Florida for the first? No, you've got a great ship there with Harmony. I think it's a great option. So, yeah. Rai wants to know, do you think they're going to put Icon 3 in Asia or will they keep it in the US? I really don't know. So, like, that's the official answer to your question is, boy, do I have no idea. Anything's possible. Don't forget, prior to the pandemic, Wonder was supposed to go to Asia. Anything's possible. But the thing is, with the Asian cruise market, it's just recently restarting there. So I'm not sure how they feel about their confidence of putting something in there. We answered that question. We're good there. Michelle wants to know, going on Wonder in August, any must-dos? See the shows. The entertainment on the Oasis class and Icon class and the Quantum class are definitely what it's all about. So, yeah, definitely see the shows. That's huge right there. We did that one already. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the chat, which is always exciting on YouTube when I do that. Stealthfin wants to know, at Norway ports, were you able to find authentic food or mostly touristy food? I was able to find authentic food. I mean, there was like McDonald's and places, but the Norway ports were not as built up like they are in the Caribbean, where it's to that effect where you get that much touristy stuff. But if you look for it, I'm trying to think like in Bergen, that's a city, so that's pretty easy, I think. In fact, it's the easiest one. But even if you're like in Haggesund, Geiranger was tough because Geiranger is like a small little dinky village, beautiful. But there are not a lot of choices there. But there was a nice little cafe, and I got something that wasn't McDonald's. There wasn't even McDonald's there to begin with. So I would say, yeah, in general, you can definitely find authentic food. You'll do better in the cities though because there's just more choices. Let's see here. Did I do this one already? Panda Steve, I don't think I answered your question. You can put super chat. Thanks for always making my day. 3 weeks till Allure and 2 months till Navigator. Wish I was there. Wish all our friends were here. It's great. We're having a great time on here. We were in Cozumel yesterday. We're in Costa Maya. But more importantly, guys, I got to tell you, the highlight of this group cruise, why should you do group cruise and all this? We were trying to come up with an idea to differentiate it. And on this cruise, we have our own entertainment on here. And I'm not talking about sugar. I'm talking about, of course, the Darla Fox, who has been performing exclusively for our groups. We've rented out venues. It's been fantastic. So we've been having her perform a couple different times during the cruise. We just had a performance earlier today, and that's so awesome. So really, really love that. So hopefully Steve and everybody else will be able to join us on our future group cruise. And by the way, while we'd like to have Darla on every single group cruise, we try to mix it up here and there and do different things and offer shore excursions, and whatnot. So, we try to not always be like, oh, it's always the same old thing. So that's just basically a disclosure that it'll be different on the next group cruise, but this is the sort of thing we strive to do there. Wesley, is the milkshake place included in a little bit drink or dining package? The base milkshakes are, but anything that has anything like the pinata one is not. Soulless Ginger, the water slides on Navigator had reserved times for suites, and the key is Icon have the same. No, they do not. Do they really have that on Navigator? That's actually a pretty decent benefit, but I'm going to guess. I'm going to go on a limb here and say it's going to be like either at 8 a.m. in the morning or at 5 o'clock in the evening, which are times that you don't need a reserved line. But I digress. But that is interesting they offer that. Will Utopia of the Seas be the last ship to be introduced in the Oasis class? No, they have one more coming out. It's unnamed yet, but there's at least one more coming out there. Do the teen club have private flow rider sessions for teens? They do, yes. I don't know if Gary's still here? Okay. Okay. I don't know if they do on this ship, but I have definitely seen it in the past because I always joke with my daughter that she should go, and she definitely says no. Betty, do junior suites count for going on the priority embarkation suite line? Yes, they do. Yep, absolutely. Scooby Moto. Scooby thinks of the super chat. Does Royal Caribbean not do Royal Night Lobster Night, the main dining room on 7-night sailings anymore? Checked out Symphony Cruises Compass for June 7th. They didn't see one. No, they do. They don't do it in Europe. And Symphony's not in Europe, right? They definitely do. But in Europe, they don't. So the app, it's much better than it used to be, all that. But it's not always the most accurate out there. So I would expect you to have it on there. Do you think they'll bring bigger ships to Baltimore way now? No, there's another bridge. There were two bridges. Obviously, the Key Bridge was knocked down, but there's still another bridge that was almost the exact same height as the Key Bridge. The Dogfather's Barbecue. What a great name. First Royal Caribbean cruise coming up on Mariner in 3 weeks from a side-by-side cruise with Carnival right before it. Look forward to what Royal Caribbean is all about. Awesome. That is a very, very good comparison right there. I'd be really curious. Will you be on Independence of the Seas in August? No, it will not be. How is the internet service? Fantastic. I mean, just as good as being at home. I don't think twice about it. That's how good it is. Let's see. Mark, we have alerts November 9th, and we have 2 reservations for dinner. Do you order what you wish, or are there restrictions? Where? Dining room? Shops? Depends on the restaurant. Most restaurants, they don't have a restriction. There are a couple that do, but again, I don't know which restaurant you're at, so it's hard for me to give you an answer on that one. Mark, when do you think the Caribbean will reach capacity? All these mega ships visit the same ports. Well, don't forget, you get bigger ships, but you also have, ships get transferred out, move around. I would say the Caribbean is looking for more capacity, quite frankly. I don't think that's really a concern, Mark, that I'm seeing at all. OMG Squad Gaming, we just went on Wonder, and now all the Royal Caribbean cruise ships that are affordable don't look that good. Do you have any suggestions? I mean, this is a fair concern, especially coming out of a ship like Icon and then going to another ship. It's tough to do that. My best thing I can tell you is it's all about, I said this earlier, it's about expectations, understanding what the ship offers, what it doesn't offer. And when you're going on other ships that are more affordable, cheaper, whatever, maybe it's itinerary that makes it stand out. Maybe you get a better cabin for the money, and that's kind of an interesting idea. And don't forget, it wasn't too long ago that those ships were the best ships in the fleet. So it's not to say that there's they offer a poor experience or you're doing yourself a disservice by going on it. Certainly, you might prefer having all the cool things you can find on an Icon or an Oasis class ship. But I find that other ships, smaller ships, offer a little something different, and they bring something else to the table. It's like if I drank wine, I'm sure it's like a fine wine. That there's something different about it, something that really makes it stand out, and that's the way to look at it. Whether or not that makes you feel better about this whole thing, I don't know. But you kind of I feel like you find ways to double down on what makes that ship more interesting. Thanks again for the super chat, Cruise Australia. Royal Caribbean are flight-free cruises, unlike some other cruise lines. How does Royal Caribbean create such a safe cruise environment? Oh, fight-free. I mean, there are things that happen. People get in fights all the time. I mean, unfortunately, people are going to be people. But I think Royal Caribbean in general, I can't speak for other lines, but they take security pretty seriously over here. And it is what it is. I don't know. Ellie, thanks for the message. First-time cruiser in May, going on scheduled to go to Labadee. Royal Caribbean owns this island. Yes. Is it safer because Royal Caribbean owns the island? Yeah. Listen, Labadee is in a very remote area of Haiti. So when it's in Haiti, I can't think of a good analogy to that, but it's very far away. It's not near any of the urban centers. I would simply say that it's literally walled off from the rest of the country. And when I go to Labadee, I'm not worried about it. Haiti has had geopolitical issues for centuries. This is not a new thing. Unfortunately, the recent issue that they've had this year is particularly concerning. But a lot of that issues have been relegated really to Port-au-Prince and the cities. So there's no guarantees in life. There's always risks involved. But I will simply tell you that if I were going to Labadee to take my family there, I wouldn't think twice about I wouldn't be concerned about my safety going there. So there are a lot of people walking by who are like, what the heck is going on over here? They have no clue why there's a bunch of people sweating and looking at the what we're doing here.
Things we do for you, man.
The hotel director really had a weird look on his face, like, what is going on? Yeah, just like, what is... Chill Island's not that interesting. Kale Crosby going on alert with my married daughter. She doesn't have a passport. Will she need a copy of her marriage certificate and with her birth certificate and driver's license? Yeah, because obviously her birth certificate has a different name. Her last name is different than her state ID. So as long as she has the marriage certificate, that explains it, and she is good to go. But I'm going to tell you, have your daughter get the passport. It's so much easier and better, and a good investment and all that. So yeah. Hey, Jay Osteen. Jay, thank you for the super chat, buddy. When it comes to San Juan, St. Thomas, St. Martin, or Puerto Plata, I know it can be a walk from the ship to the main port. Any trolleys help at those ports? The only one that really has a dedicated trolley, Puerto Plata definitely has one. They actually have their they're not rickshaws, they're juke. Is that the word? Tuk-tuks. They're like they're like three-wheeled little scooters that can take you there. They're free, but it's expected to tip. San Juan, no. St. Thomas, no. St. Martin, I don't think so. So I'm gonna go with no. Are there any sweet guest benefits at Cocoa Key? There are not. Labadee does, but not Cocoa Key. Holly K, watching your live stream during a tornado warning in Iowa. Fun weather tonight. Stay safe out there. Hope it's a. I feel like whenever there's a warning, it's usually unmerited, and they get surprised when there's not a warning. But hopefully you'll be okay. How does Icon compare to Symphony? Say hi to Rick and Donna. I need your group. Hi, Rick and Donna. How does Icon compare to Symphony? Pretty favorably. I mean, obviously the Oasis class in general, there's a lot of similarities. I generally prefer a lot of things on Icon, but it's really talking about the entertainment. You're talking about the amount of pools on here, water slides. But we did a video, I'm pretty sure here in our channel, comparing the Oasis class to Icon to get you an idea on that. But if we didn't, that's a good idea, and I should do it. But in the meantime, I would simply say to you, they're very favorable to each other. Scary, thanks for the super chat, Rich. Appreciate it. I have to get on an official group cruise, but on Odyssey in December with a group of 11. Any way to reach out ahead of to ensure the group can sit together in the main dining room? Yeah, but I don't know how this is where an MEI travel, like, they just do it for me. It's magic. I'm like, they just do it, and we all show up, and it's like, hey, look at that. But essentially, if you have a group with Royal Caribbean, like in the group's department, then the group's coordinator can do that, and that's where your travel agent comes in handy. If you have 11 people, like you just have a bunch of friends that are on board, and you're spread across, 4 or 5 cabins, in that scenario, you want to link your reservations together. You can do that. Actually, if you booked with a travel agent can do that. If you did it booked on your own, then you would need to call Royal Caribbean. But everybody needs to link to each other. So you don't just link to one person. Like if I wanted to share a dining room table with Jeff, and I don't know why I would want to do that, I would have to link to him, and he would have to link to me. And then that's essentially most of what you need to do. But I would definitely recommend, Rich, when you get to the actual on board the ship on embarkation day, double checking if they have that in there. Let's see here. Did I? I think I'm a little behind now in the chat. We just want to wonder of the seas for the first time. I have to say I was really disappointed with the food from the watery eggs. Just plain food in Wonderland. Are all Royal Caribbean ships the same? No. If you're talking about the watery eggs, like, do you mean like at the buffet in the Windjammer, the tray o eggs? Yeah, those are terrible. I've actually done a video about foods you shouldn't eat on a cruise. Those are one of them. They're powdered eggs. If you want to get eggs, you just go to the omelet station in the Windjammer and order it from there. But food is very subjective. So that's one of the things, like I could talk about, I said this before, broccoli. Like half the people hate broccoli, half the people love broccoli. It doesn't make it bad or good, or foods that have it bad or good. It's just the way that it is. I would say in general, and actually to Wonderland, great example. My wife and I don't hate Wonderland. We don't care for it that much. We've eaten there a couple times. It wasn't bad. My kids loved it. They would go back all the time. So different strokes for different folks. But no, to answer your question, they're not all the same. There's a lot of times different restaurants on different ships. And more importantly, there's also the opportunity to differentiate even between different chefs and whatnot. Did I miss a super chat? Chantel says I missed a super chat from Rory and Jim. Well, Jim, I'm working on it. Rory, thank you for the super chat. I apologize. Thanks for all the info. I'm on the Wonder of the Season January. One of the stops, St. Thomas. Only to 3 p.m. though. Is that enough time to go on your favorite St. John? Yeah, I did this actually on the Icon inaugural. You're gonna roughly have about 90 minutes at the beach, like between the travel time and all that. When you actually get to the beach and go in the water, you'll have about 90 minutes of it. And that says, wow, that's really not a lot of time. I will tell you this much: St. John is so beautiful. I think 90 minutes is absolutely worth it. So I've done it. And I would say that it is absolutely worth it. I missed yours, Jim, too? Okay. Sorry. Have you heard any original songs on the cruise? That one? I have. But you know what? You got to be on the group cruise to understand that. So, yes. Yes, I have. Matt, are you thrilled with Icon as you were on the first sailing? Yeah. No, the ship is not disappointing at all. In fact, it's actually more impressive because when we went on the first sailing, people said, well, the buffet is never going to have steak and lobster again on Embarkation Day. When they have all the kids on during the summertime, it's going to be a zoo and a lot of other things. And it has lived up to the hype. I've really, really enjoyed the ship. We're going to do a podcast episode about this April coming out next week. But I have been very impressed with what it's been offering. I think they've really done a great job with it. And you talk to other guests, talk to crew members. I think a lot of them really have the same things to say over there. Yeah, and Becky here, you could have said it, but we have just over 7,200 guests on board, but you really don't feel it as the ship designs. There's a lot of places for people to be. Yeah, absolutely true. Norma, we're on Icon of the Seas. Icon of the Seas. Hey, Jonathan, our 6-night AOTS could be a lot of ships. Allure, Anthem, Adventure. Originally showed 2 formal nights. Now the app shows the same menu each night and no lobster night. All right, number 1. Ignore the app. We talked about this a little bit earlier. The app is not always 100% correct, so don't read too much into that. 6-night cruise, you should have 2 formal nights. So yeah, that's it. It's just the app being the app. It will eventually update, especially when you get on board the ship, but don't worry too much about it. Are you getting a price on Utopia of the Seas for? I just called my travel agent. I texted her. She's somewhere behind me, I think, and I said, "Hey, can I book a cruise?" She was like, "Yeah, you can." It was that easy. Do you ever cruise with Disney? No. I don't have Becky Menken money, so I can't afford it. But no, seriously. I used to cruise with Disney. Actually, my very first cruises were on Disney Cruise Line. Yeah, I mean, I've been on there. But no, I don't cruise with them anymore. I think my problem with Disney is, I think for the product, it's very similar to Royal Caribbean. Not the same, obviously, but it's very expensive. Their private island experience is like night and day difference, as in worse, in my opinion, compared to what Perfect Day at Coco Key is. Their itineraries are far more varied in Royal Caribbean. They have more to do for families on board than Disney. So I feel like there's a lot of things I don't love about it. There are things I think they do well. But for the price, it's really hard to justify like 2 to 3 times more for, and it's hard. A core cruise experience is more similar than it's not. Are there any Boston cruises? Yeah, we did a Boston cruise this past year on one of our group cruises last year, actually, to New England and Canada. And it was great. I gotta say, really, really nice. Let's see here. Hey, Jason. Oops, there we go. Hurricane reroute Mariner this weekend, docking in Cozumel Saturday. If it changes, where would they take us? There could be a lot of places. I can't speculate as to where you might end up going. In a lot of cases, if they're going to reroute you, there's either going to, the easiest one is to reorder it. So like they'll basically follow the storm in and then go behind it. I've seen that happen. If it's like us, we had our itinerary go from Eastern to Western. There's a lot of possibilities. So it's hard to give you. I don't want to mislead you and tell you what you should expect, obviously, but they're going to take you somewhere else. So if it's a 4-night cruise, just go to Cozumel, and let's say you're not able to go to Cozumel. I hope you like Nassau, because that's probably where you'll end up going, or Turks and Caicos. That's been a good fallback recently. That's in the Bahamas, so you never know. Let me get a drink of water over here. Tuk Tuk. Yeah, Tuk Tuk. Thank you. I knew it was two words that sounded like each other, and there was a U involved with it. Tony says, I was told by Matt not to come. Boy, there's a huge lie with that one. How safe is cruising during hurricane season? I think it's the safest place you can be. If I can, I mean, cruise ships can, first of all, they go faster than hurricanes in almost every situation. Number two, they can move around. They don't go. The Royal Caribbean and the cruise lines in general, they see where the storms go and they move their ships out of harm's way. When you're in if you're doing a land resort, a land vacation, you go to Cancun. If there's a hurricane, you're out of luck. Nothing you can do about it. They can't move that. So I would venture to say, without any statistical information to back this up, it's the safest place you can be during a hurricane because you can go around the storm, away from the storm, somewhere else completely. And listen, we're in the Caribbean right now, and they've routed us such that we're going to be able to get in here in Mexico and then skirt on out before the storm gets here. So, it's like I said, I cruise every year during hurricane season. The reality is, if you book a cruise during hurricane season, it's fairly unlikely a storm is actually going to impact our itinerary. So I don't want to make it seem like, from June 1st to November 30th, there's a storm out there every week. That's not the case at all. By far, the most storms are in September and October. But again, I've done plenty of September cruises, and my itinerary's gone off without a hitch. So don't assume that it's just a problem automatically. Hey, Bob, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you. Have you been to the water park in Costa Maya? Is it worth seeing? Do you mean the water park in Costa Maya? No, it was closed for a really long time. It's the one where when you're in Costa Maya and there's that big fake pyramid. Sorry, it's fake. Behind it, there's a water park, and it was closed for a long time during COVID. And I've not been there since the restart. No. Jonathan, hang on a second. Going on a 6 night. Again, another ship starts with an A. Don't know which one. Junior Suite 2 up with double points. On the last night, we'll pass 140. Will I get my crystal block on that ship or Utopia in August? You'll get it the night you're getting it. You should be getting it on board that cruise. Should is the key word there. Let's see here. Did I read this one already? Yes, I did. Can I get a case of Foster's oil cans delivered to Rick and Donna's cabin? You cannot order that. No, it doesn't work that way. Although, why would you want to order Foster's to anybody? It's a terrible beer. Actually, everyone. Yeah. In Australia, they hate it. But. Chris wants to know, how worried do you have to be for drinks with ice, like for intestinal problems in Honduras and other places? I've had plenty of ice in Mexico, and I'm still here to tell you the tale. I think in most cases, a lot of that has to do with just, like regular, like tap drinking water. But I will simply say that I've had it plenty of times. In most cases, I feel like, obviously they're in cocktails. That's the thing. Like when you order water in almost any of these places, you're going to get a bottle of water. But if you're in Roatan and you want to get a margarita or what have you, and there's ice in there, I mean, listen, I'm not your doctor, can't promise anything, but I've ordered that plenty of times, never had an issue with it. If you're really worried about it, just order water or beer or something else that's bottled. That's the way around that. But Chris, let me put it this way. I get a lot of people who come on and, they'll say, hey, this happened to me on a cruise. By and large, I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't ever recall one person ever talking about having that kind of issue related to that. So, when is the President's Cruise at 25? It's in September. Pilot Dave, hello and welcome. Craig Cuvelier, is that right? Thanks. We just got off the Harmony on Sunday, had a fantastic cruise. The trip was just to enjoy the ship on our fourth Oasis. Next cruise is September on the Radiance. Nice. Fantastic. What is a nice, convenient hotel in near Port Everglades? My favorite is the Marriott Fort Lauderdale Airport. I don't know if it's brand new anymore, but it opened right after COVID. It's a really new hotel, and I like that quite a bit. That was really nice. Becky, can you come up here one more second? Yeah. Oh, you stayed at a hotel recently in Fort Lauderdale. What'd you like? Yes. Did you like it?
The Fort Lauderdale Marriott Harbor Beach Resort, which is really, really close to the port. However, it's right on the beach. So unlike the other one that we stayed at, which was the Westin, the beach is across the street, which is a little bit less. But the Marriott Harbor Beach was amazing. So I go there.
That's a really good point. I mean, obviously, do you want a beach? Do you want a hotel that has a beach?
Yeah.
Do you just want something like, I'm flying in at 9 o'clock at night. I want a bed to sleep on and go in the morning. That can help also as well.
And then the
Hilton
Marriott.
Marriott.
Sorry, not the Hilton.
Marina?
Yes.
Yep.
Like that one too.
Good. Let's see here. Did I miss Jonathan Pace's super chat? I did. I'm getting really bad at this. Miss super chat above.
Takes a lot of effort.
We can do this. We've got this.
I don't see it, but Jonathan, if it really did miss your super chat, I apologize. Samantha, my super chat was missed during the reward. What? How? This is like, I'm going to blame Craig. I don't know why, but we're just going to blame Craig. This, wow. Okay. Well, this is still Craig's fault somehow, but see, that's where it started. All right, we'll go through this one more time. Any advice for solo cruisers who want to find a roommate? Any advice for? Try this again. Any advice for solo cruisers who want to find a roommate to split cost? I don't. I would tell you I'd be very leery of that, because it's like strangers on the internet, and you're going to spend the room with them for 3 to 7 nights or something like that. What could possibly go wrong? I wouldn't advise it. I know you want to save money, but this is, yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, I think, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't recommend it. Let's put it that way. All right, Craig says I missed his super chat, which is impossible. Me fail math? That's impossible. Wait, was yours I see here. How do you win a grand jackpot in the casino? Yeah, step 1, listen to Matt to book the cruise. Step 2, go on there. Because I told Craig if he booked the cruise, he didn't want to book it, that he'd win the casino. And he did, so there you go. Was that it, or was that a different one? Other one? Okay, thank you. All right, we have a couple more. Oh, I see it now. All right, everyone's melting over here, guys. We're gonna call. I'm just going through here to make sure there's nothing else that. Oh no, I feel fine. Craig's fan here is fantastic, but I feel for all of you that are sweating profusely. How much should I pay for a roll up on a suite? Whatever you're comfortable with, right there. Skyfrog, thanks for the super chat. From the Royal Caribbean rules, that I cannot bring my dive knife along with my scuba gear. That's understandable, but it says I can't bring a hookah. But it says I can't bring a hookah. How barbaric! Sorry, buddy. Sorry, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah. All right, it is hot and sweaty. It has been hot and sweaty, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody here for being here. Thank you, guys. Next week we'll be live with you on Monday. Back on Monday in air conditioning. Yay! I'm excited for that one. That's okay for not being on a cruise ship. Thank you to all our super chatters. Thank you everybody being in the chat. Thank you to our amazing audience for being here. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, appreciate you all. Have a great week, everybody. And we'll talk again next week here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.